Ain't nobody in here. Armando,
Yeah, what's up, bro? How you been, man? Where you been?
I've been around. How you been, dude? See, you
Yeah,
got your
man.
whole little thing going on over here.
Yeah, man. But my other shit got banned for porn bombers for 3 months, man. I had to create this shit today. It's okay though.
Yeah, that'll happen, man. Free Chan got porn bombed like 5 times.
They got banned, huh?
We got, yeah, we've gone through 4 accounts, I think, over there. It happens, dude. There's people who are fucked up out there. They don't like people having good conversation and shit. They're usually race tards, like white supremacists and shit. We had 2 white supremacists do that shit to us.
They're usually race cards, like white supremacists. Shit.
Somebody's got a watch page open. Is that you, John?
That's so fucking weird, man. Man, that's the last thing I'll be trying to do.
No, I could. But yeah, I guess you've been over here. You haven't been going over to like the Earth discussions or anything like that.
Yeah, man. I pass by, but they don't let me on the panel, so I leave fast.
No, they racist, dog. No, they're nerdy white kids circle jerking each other, making, patting each other's ego, trying to make themselves feel smarter. That's pretty much what they are. Just saying. Yeah, I don't like it over there. And they beat the shit out of Pete every day, all day. That's all it is. Just like, that's all it's there for. Hear Pete get shit on. That's all it's there for.
We talking about Pissy Pete, the Pete guy that drinks his own urine, supposedly.
Yeah, and I don't know if he even does. He just talked about it one time. He talked about urine therapy, which is something they do in India and shit. But you know how they are over there. They just ran with it. I mean, he might drink his own piss. I don't know, but I heard him talking about it one day. Like when you look it up, believe it or not, man, it's an actually like recognized Vedic medicine. Like what do they call it? Ayurvedic. It's called Ayurvedic medicines, and for certain sicknesses and whatnot, they use it topically. They use it for a lot of things. So I mean, it's not like a crazy idea. It sounds disgusting, but when you look into it, there's actually some science behind it. Not that I'm defending it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. So as a
But
matter of fact, I
yeah,
did look at it. I think it cures acne and some other kind of things.
yeah. Because the thing is like when it comes out, it's purer than the water that you drink because your kidneys are there. You're distilling the water. You're cleaning the water. You know what I mean? Like so, it's literally more pure, or more clean, as in like any dangerous bad toxin, anything, than what you put in your body. Like the filters don't even get it that clean. So I mean, it's not like it would never hurt you if you understand what it is. And it's not waste. Waste goes out the back end. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just excess. That makes sense? But
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah. So what you guys been up to over here? I stop on every once in a while, but you seem like you got a nice little group of friends you've been making.
Yeah, there's like 30 of us. Thinking about staying anonymous. It's a little bit too personal when you start talking and shit.
Oh, dude, it's crazy, man. People dox you, start talking about your personal shit, and try to use it against you. It's fucked up, man. I try. I don't really show my face very much. I don't think I ever have recently, because I have a whole other YouTube channel that I do speak in front of the camera and about health and medicine. And I just also like crazy conspiracy theory stuff. So I don't want to mix the two. You know, I can't have my clients finding out that I think the earth might be flat or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of keep it separate. But man, I've seen people get real nasty, man, talking about dead kids and shit. Like, you know, pointing out, like, you hear what they talk about to Pete, like, oh, where's your kid? You lost your fucking kid because you're a bad father. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
that's just yeah, that's disgusting.
It's fucking terrible, dude. And it's all over words on the fucking internet. That's all it is. These people get so wrapped up in it, man. But yeah, I feel you. Try to be as anonymous as possible. But your voice kind of gives it away, though, Armando.
Yeah, I know.
I couldn't go anonymous at this point. I think you can hear me coming. John, why'd he leave? I saw Tuda show up. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's good people, man.
Yeah, Twitter's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm over here just adding people to the Google thing. I had like 500 people over there. I'm like at
Are you
50 here.
are you live right now?
Yeah, yeah, it's alive.
Nice. Yeah, John and I had a geez, man, we had like a 5 hour conversation one day when I first met him about religion and you know, like occult stuff. And he's a brick. He's a real smart guy, real decent too.
My bad, man. The last one got sniped, and I guess it's kind of hard to get everybody back together. You know, I'm not gonna put that link anywhere, but
No, I feel you.
I don't know. Give me a.
You know,
I'm listening to you though.
what's your situation with Big Al? You guys good?
I think he dislikes me. I really don't care too much. I think he's all right. I think he's cool.
Oh, I just didn't know if you were blocking him or some shit because of the like people sniping and stuff. Like I vouch for Big L. He sniped Free Chant just because they pissed him off really bad. But outside of that, man, he's a cool cat, man. I like talking with him.
Yeah, I think he's all right.
I don't think he's got a problem with you. We were talking about you the other day. He was talking about you in a positive way.
Cool. Yeah, I have no problems with him. I just have a problem with him when Tudor gets to trigger him a little bit.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tudor bothers him a little bit, so he starts sniping, and that's about the only problem I have with him.
Yeah, they go back and forth and fuck around and like make fun of each other and shit. I saw that. I might as well stop using this troll account. I think everybody knows who the fuck I am. It's kind of missing the point. Oh shit.
There's another guy, Uncle May is pretty cool.
You know who I love to hit? I want to talk to one time soon is the general.
Oh, that guy's hilarious, man.
Dude,
The general, that
I
guy, I
fucking
love
love.
that guy.
I love that guy because here's why. Because I know what he's saying is true. When he talks about how he doesn't have a license, he doesn't have a his vehicle registry, doesn't have a tag, drives around town with his general hat, and nobody gives him shit, and everybody just waves to him because it's just a crazy old general, right? Like I heard him telling this story one day, and I can just picture it. Like I've seen little towns with that kind of situation. You know what I mean? Everybody just waves to the crazy old general. He plays the part, but dude's fucking hilarious. I can never tell when he's trolling. Like he's really good. He'll fuck with people for a long time before they even realize that he's fucking with them. He's a smart dude. not showing up on the live list. Did you put flat Earth in the box?
Hey, who's this dick?
Oh, hey there. I'm the representative for the oblong phalloid model of the Earth. The
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the whole flat versus round argument's it's a false dichotomy. It's a logical fallacy. So what I do is I try to wedge myself in there real deep and to get people to think that there might be another option. And it's been staring us right in the face.
Well, I'm an asshole for a subject like this, so if there's only one, it might as well be me. So
Well, there you
okay, there's a
go.
flat and there's a round, and what you like in between?
Well, that's the false dichotomy, man. They got you pitted between two options, and that's how they, conquered the idea. I mean, clearly the Earth is an oblong phalloid. There's no curvature looking north to south. I mean, there is east to west, but we call that the girth of the Earth. And you got the North Hole at the top, the two southern celestial spheres. Sigma Octantis points to that in the southern hemisphere. So it's just, people have missed it over the years. But my model's right here.
I
You
know.
can see it.
I can understand that. I can appreciate that. Just like people when I moved over here in some little rinky-dink fucking island and learned about this guy named Maui that came over and they didn't go fishing, and he pulled up a fucking not one island but two. I'm thinking, holy shit, this guy can go fishing and just pulls out of his ass. Well, damn, that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah. So I believe
The
that
Earth's
you.
shaft.
So
I'm
you
trying
so
to
you
follow your
believe in the.
diagram. It's kind of weird, man.
Yeah, you see right there. See 100 kilometers up, right past the Hyman line. You've got the spermament, and that's what it's a prophylactic spermament, and this protects us from, anything outside of it. A lot of people don't know. This is what they're trying to hide by, spraying all the cum trails. So, it's hard to take in, but once you accept it deeply, you'll feel it.
Yeah, I can imagine the sound that things happen when things happen, and sometimes they talk about volcanic eruption, and I'm thinking, what is that?
A
Is
lot of
that,
mysteries to
I
this
don't know, like
earth.
squeezing a pimple?
Well, metaphors can be used, but probably.
Actually, you sound familiar.
Yeah? What do I sound like?
Well,
Oh, he's calling in people to the new channel
there's
because,
my extra.
yeah, the other one got shut down, so he's just trying to get people
Packy,
into the new one.
Packy, what are you doing right now, bro?
I'm trying to get some sleep.
What are you trying to get some sleep for, man? We just woke up.
Man, you waking this man up, Armando.
You're a demon, that's why.
Hey, Packy, are you sleeping on the job?
No, I'm home.
Let the man sleep, Armando.
In
Hey,
this part,
Packy.
in the part,
Hey, Packy, why don't you denounce Islam
the
again for
expression
us?
"dick,"
What is now?
the thing,
What?
kind of
What's
like,
that, Uncle?
yeah. Well, over here in New Zealand, like the word "cunt," it can mean good. Like you're a good cunt. That's an everyday expression.
Yeah, it's weird. I hear it. I've heard it a lot like
And
that.
then the other expression with the name "dick" is, "Hey, don't be a dick." It's not like they're intending to swear, but it's just kind of how they do things.
Yeah.
Hermano, sing me a song so I can go back to sleep. Sing me something. Sing me something demonic.
can't do that, Packy. Then I'll be defiling myself.
Come on, Armando,
but
sing.
but I believe in you.
Sing. I can believe I can fly. Sing that.
I was the first one to believe in you. Remember, Armando? I call you God.
Hey,
I
relax with that, Packy. I denounce that.
I recognize you as my God.
Shout out to the gods.
But Armando, you had some perversion, so that's why I used to hashtag that.
I have been roasting people left and right, man. You heard?
And I used to say that God with benefits.
Hold on, where's my crossover here, man?
Shout out to the
I don't
gods.
think I need.
2D,
Hey, here's
2D,
John.
my love 2D's here.
Yo, invite Flatty up in here.
I did. You guys can invite whoever you want.
That's who I thought Dick was, John.
Nah.
That kind of old.
You guys can invite whoever you want, but control your boy Big L.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. I'll tell him to be good. Did you invite him in?
I don't have too many people on my friends list. I can't even.
It's crazy.
kinda
I'm
hard
not
to find
finding you. I tried to search. Did you put Flat Earth in the description? It's usually the best way to get people on this subject.
I got to go.
I don't really care about the subject,
Good night.
but I do like the people. Where you going, Packy?
Good night, Armando. I have to get some sleep, man.
Let the man sleep.
Good night. Good night, Judy. Love you.
Take it easy, Beck.
I love you, Judy. Just love you. Just love you so much. You're gonna miss me. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Judy, you're gonna miss me by my walk. Judy, you're gonna miss me by my talk. Oh, Judy, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. When I'm gone. When I'm gone. Judy, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere, Judy. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. I love you, Judy. Good night.
Take it easy, Beck.
What are you just going into all the old hangouts and putting in a new link or something? Like, what are you doing? I think that's what you're doing.
No, what I did is that I met people in the flat Earth discussion thing or debates, whatever. And then I had people that I had met like Tudor in Newsmax. We were regulars, right? And then I put them together, and that's it.
Well, that's the only reason I said put Flat Earth in titles, because most of the people who like to come on these hangouts and talk about weird shit, that's what they're searching for.
That's how you got
General
gentlemen here.
Yeah. You get the more interesting people in there if you do that shit. You got to admit, man, Flat Earthers are interesting.
That's one word to describe them.
I mean, honestly, they're pretty interesting.
Yeah. I've met good people all over the place. I mean, I think you're decent. I think Osama's decent.
Osama.
Yeah, the Osama guy. I think he's funny.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
No, it is interesting. It
Dude,
is.
I had thought you were MG for a little bit. You know that? Like a while back though. Already when I knew you were MG, some guy there. But I noticed you were two different people when I started hearing your characters though.
Man, somebody fucking said I sounded like Look a Pig. I was so pissed off. It's some like fat 17-year-old atheist nerd, and I'm like, who the fuck you take me for?
I have found people that believe in God are a lot more serious. Like they could get into the trolling.
Dude, them atheist clowns, dude.
Yeah, exactly. They have nothing. They have nothing. They're dead all the way inside.
And you could see it in like how they joke, how they, you know what I'm saying? Like they're I don't know. Their jokes aren't funny. They're usually like really nasty and negative and vitriolic. You notice that?
Yeah, like it's somehow funny to say something in bad taste. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Oh, is that you, John?
It is, man. How you doing?
Doing good. It's been a while since I talked with you, man.
Yeah. I think the last time we talked, it was like I don't even remember when,
It
but
was like a month ago, actually. It was when you
yeah.
first started doing this.
Damn, has it already been a month?
About that time, yeah.
All right. Are you ready? Newbie time. And in this chat.
What's
Huh?
up?
Like, how many people can be in
12, I think. No, 10.
available for the
10.
mic?
10 people.
So, Uncle, are you a believer of the phallic Earth?
Okay, so if I come in and there,
Yeah, Uncle just got the lowdown on the oblong phalloid model. He wasn't aware.
The oblong phalloid model.
Yeah, that's the technical term.
Hey, technical dude. Listen, dog. Like
It's
I
oblong.
tell you, if you like you say you do YouTube videos, dude. If you would
Yeah.
just write that down,
What,
write
my
it down,
spiel? Like my spiel?
all of it, put it all in a couple sheets of paper, dude,
And
and
do
put
it
the
like a.
paper away and
Me
let
and
it
Fanny
rip.
Lancer, me and Fanny Lancer are about to do it. He's already got one queued up. We just haven't decided to go forward with it.
Dude, if you create that shit, no, let me see that shit. That shit is hilarious. Dog. Like a stand-up, like just
I
comedy
know,
video
dude.
though.
Oh no, that shit is gold though.
Hilarious.
Phallic Earth, like
And
oblong
Yeah.
if you
phalloid.
guys could do the conversation, dude. Look, if you
Oh,
could
that's the
show,
thing. Free
yeah,
Chan, like Snack to the Future and myself and another guy named Hitch, we all did like a 2-hour presentation with it where we just like, dude,
Yeah.
Snack made like a Wikipedia. Like we
And
had all these
they
facts
were
and
all
shit.
like, they probably all thought you were serious.
It was so funny because like we deadpanned it. Like nobody laughed. Nobody cracked a smile. Like we all just fucking nailed it, like over
yeah.
the
If you
course
guys
of
talk
like
about
an
it
hour.
seriously, man, and I sit there and I watch, dude, I'll cry. I'll cry on the
Dude,
video.
yes. It's funny, at first it's like, oh, a dick joke. But first of all, everybody laughs at a dick joke. You know what I mean? Like just the cheap comedy, you can get a laugh from a dick joke. But then when you really think about it, how deep we go with it, it starts to get pretty intelligent almost because we're naming all the different, you know what I mean? Like the
Oh, that
firmament
shit's
and the
hilarious.
oblong phalloid, the two southern celestial spheres, Sigma Octantus. We learned
Dog,
this from
Sigma
Hermes
Octantis.
Gismegistus. Yeah,
That
yeah,
one
you
had
see.
me crying, dog.
Uh,
They're gonna say
Wait,
have me
so
thinking about
I
nothing
heard you
but
say cum shit
hey,
assholes.
earlier.
Cathexis, you forgot about erection perspective.
Exactly. Shout out to the god.
Erection.
Peace to the God. You like my image?
What is
Fucking
it?
Big L,
Yeah,
dog,
dude. That's
you
my
gotta
hero.
really
Hey,
stop sniping,
Cathexis,
bro.
you like my image?
Hey, Big L, you gotta stop sniping, my nigga.
Cathexis,
He
you
ain't
like
gonna
my
snipe.
image?
I'm
You don't.
vouching.
Oh, you see,
I'm
he's not
vouching.
listening
Yo,
because he's saying that he
Cathexis,
doesn't
you
want
like
to
my
do it.
image, bro?
I'll
That's my
shut the
hero.
whole shit
Fuck yeah.
down again.
Bro, that's my
Yo,
He has
image,
Big
to
bro.
L.
stop
Big
sniping.
L.
He has to stop sniping, man.
Hero Armando, for a moment. Let your ego
No,
go
he
to the
doesn't have to hear
side.
me. I don't give a fuck. I know he hears me. What I'm telling you is to tell him that he has to stop sniping.
I'm vouching for him. He ain't gonna snipe you.
Well, I'm not talking about this time. He has to stop doing that shit. Period. I'm getting tired of that shit.
That's all y'all.
All right,
Did he
all right.
snipe
Yeah,
you?
yeah, you
Hey,
make it
Did
seem
he
like
if
snipe
you
Cathexis
hear
is
you?
me
my
or not,
daddy or something.
if
Hey,
you
Vargas.
hear me or not, one more snipe done. You
No,
can't even
man.
get back.
I'm like
Right?
your older friend at like a party, and you're too drunk, and so they come up to me and they're like, "Yo, your boy over
Hey,
here just
control your
was like
boy.
hitting on my girlfriend." And I'm just like, "Yo, man, it's
One
cool,
more snipe,
okay?
my
It's
nigga, and
cool."
I'm not. And it's done. Just
Fuck
letting you
off,
know. One more
Armando. No
snipe
one
and it's
gives
done.
a shit.
Hey, Vargas.
Mind
Nobody
your
gives a shit. All
business.
right, then just dip, my nigga.
Give your
Then
Come
dip,
on,
hey.
come
bro.
on, come on. Let's
I
not make
was
it into
invited
a
here,
thing.
so fuck
No,
off.
you were invited here by me, nigga. Just
You
dip.
were.
Who gives a shit?
Just
I
leave,
didn't
dog.
come to talk to you.
I know.
Come
Just
I
on,
was
leave,
talking
y'all.
to
man.
you, bro. No one comes for
All
you.
right, then you
Come
gotta
on,
dip, though.
relax.
All right, go ahead and snipe this shit because this shit is a wrap. I'm gonna start it over.
Man,
You
come
can't
on.
come
You
in.
see, you manifesting this, Armando.
I don't care what I'm manifesting,
You're
dog. I'm
manifesting.
telling
You
him not
little bitch. I didn't
don't
come
do
for
it no
you.
more.
Vargas, you
Don't do it no
attracted?
more.
Did you attract
Fuck
I don't
anyone
give
you
a
like?
fuck. Don't do it no more.
Come on, put your egos
Do it
aside.
one more
Let's just
time and it's
fucking
done, my
talk,
nigga.
man. We're
You're
having
gonna
a
get
good
exiled.
time.
Hey,
Yo.
Vargas, though, this
Ain't
game, though.
And no more chances, you fucking demon.
No one gives a shit.
You don't give a shit, then dip.
I
Leave.
didn't come for
man.
you. I didn't come for
Just
you.
leave, nigga.
I didn't come for you.
I don't
Just
care,
slow
dog.
down,
You always
y'all.
come
Then
for
shut
me,
up,
nigga.
bro. No one's talking
You
to you.
always gonna come
I'm
for
just
me.
gonna. I'm
Nigga.
just gonna ignore
You
you,
come
bro.
over
Right,
here
come
because of
on
me,
now.
nigga.
Because of
Yo,
you, yes,
man.
because of you.
Big L, you
Bitch
came
ass
for me.
I
fucking
don't even
nigga.
want to talk to you, bro.
Slap the dog piss out your hands, nigga, in real life.
Y'all
You're
are
a pussy. Old ass. I don't fight
How old are you?
grandpas.
How old are you, Armando? I
34.
thought you were young. See, you my age. I'm 35.
You're not old.
That's not old, man.
No shit, dog. This nigga has said that before. He's just a fucking nigger, dog. That's all he is. He's a
Whoa,
fucking
whoa,
idiot.
soften the R, Armando.
I know,
Soften that
dude.
R.
How you gonna claim? How
pronounce
you
that
gonna claim
shit.
to be
I
black?
pronounce it to the
But
T.
throw that shit out.
Hey,
My
Vargas,
bad.
though.
Come
What
on,
about this?
Armando.
Hey, Vargas, what about this chess game?
Like, come
Hey,
on, man.
don't-
The man has an
I'm
avatar
done.
of
I'm
Malcolm
done.
X.
He already knows, dog. He
But
snipes that shit in any circumstance. He
Texas, he don't
snipes
even
Tudor.
know
He snipes
anything.
anything.
He don't even know anything about
Anything.
Malcolm
And it's a
X,
rap,
dude.
dog.
Okay, yo, but
Malcolm
it's
X
just
was a
funny.
Muslim.
You can't take Armando serious. He knows nothing about Malcolm X or any of the
We're all
black
just
people.
having a good time here. It's not like some serious shit. But the funny thing is
But he
you,
ruins the chat.
It's sad.
And he stays along the
yo,
lurking
but
zone.
Armando,
sad
see
that-
what's
and
happening is
and
you're
zapping.
perpetuating it. You know what I'm saying? You're manifesting it. You can stop
He's saying you're
antagonizing and
attracting it
it'll
with
die
negative
off. You know?
All
vibration.
right, dude. It's like everything else, my nigga. Like I agree with you. It's nothing personal with this clown. Nothing personal. I swear to you.
All right,
I'm not
then
gonna.
Mind
I'm
your
gonna leave it alone.
business. No,
I'm
no
gonna
one's
leave it
talking to you.
alone.
I wasn't
I'm
talking to
telling
you.
There
you,
you
you
go.
do it one more time, and you can't do it no more.
Mind
You've
your
done it
damn
too many
business.
times.
No one gives a
You've done
shit.
it too many times.
No one
All
gives a
right.
shit.
And no matter how much you beg for a link to anybody else, I'm not gonna let you in.
Who begged for a link?
You bitch. You.
Come on,
Hey,
guys.
did I beg for a
We're gonna
link?
spend 5 minutes sitting here
Not this
back and
time,
forth
but you
Did
over
I
this
begged
dumb
did I
shit.
Melissa
beg
for a
anyone
link.
for a link? I've never
You
begged
begged
for a link.
Bob for a
No,
link.
I
Do it
told
on
You
the
him to
invite me
bring you
every
in.
time,
I know
Armando.
he's only talking about this one. I'm talking about every other time.
Armando has too much pride to admit he invites me every time. Every
I
time,
do
dude.
invite you, dog, because I
He
don't have a
invites me
So what?
problem with
every
you.
time.
But so
I
what,
don't
Big
have a
Al?
problem with you.
No,
My
I'm
nigga,
just
I swear
saying.
to you, I don't
I'm
have a problem with
I'm
you,
just
Will.
saying. I'm just
Let's not
saying.
argue.
Don't lie like I'm begging for a link when you invite me
No,
every
no,
It
no.
time.
is true that you beg for a link.
Y'all
That's a
When?
fact.
motherfuckers.
Show
I'm
me.
about to
Damn,
leave.
you make him sound like
Nigga,
he's
I don't have to show you, dog. I know you've asked Melissa. Melissa,
Show
vouch
me.
for me. D-Beg, tell that nigga to let me in. Bob, let me get a link. I've seen you do it for free chat in front of Bob
like he's
here.
an
Hey,
addict.
Bob,
Show
you
me.
already got the link, my nigga? Send me the
Yo,
link,
did
my
you
nigga.
see? Yo,
I
did you see
seen you.
Show
Bob
me.
snitching on him?
Yeah, Bob
Bob was
snitches on this
snitching
nigga all the
earlier.
time when he's doing dishes.
Yo, this shit's fucked
Bob
up.
wakes up
Every
in the
Yeah,
time I
morning,
see
does
Bob,
dishes,
Don't
and
ever
starts
let
to
Bob
talk
know
to
anything
me.
you don't want
every
anybody else to know.
every time I see
Hey,
Bob,
get
he's
Bob in
always
here
snitching
too,
on
my
someone.
nigga. Like, dude, I think y'all niggas are cool, dog. I just don't like the sniping
Then
shit.
shut up already, dog. No one came to
All
insult
right,
you.
my
Yo,
nigga.
don't be a
But
dick.
that
Come
was a
on.
handshake, my nigga. That's
Yeah,
the
for
best I can do.
real.
I'm not
Fuck
good
your
with the
handshake, nigga.
bromance.
Man, come on, get out of here with that shit. Come on.
I'm not good with the
Put the
bromance.
egos aside. Put the ego aside, man.
You
I ain't
can't
with
do the
that bullshit.
bromance.
Yeah, man.
So what
Like
would
I told
Malcolm
this
X
nigga, I'm
do?
talking about you, dog.
Oh,
I
wait.
actually do like you, my nigga, but you
What
be
would Malcolm
sniping,
do?
dog.
Wait, don't say that because Malcolm would shoot him up or some shit.
That's
Early
right.
Malcolm would. No, man, it's all good. I wanted you to come up in here. Where is Bob? We should get Bob in here. I haven't talked to him too.
Listen, I just
Bob is over
want to
there
say
bitching in the
it's
chat.
sad that Cathexis as a white man knows more about Malcolm X.
Man,
Than me, a black man, right? Why don't you finish the statement, man? What happened to him, dog? He's gonna get mad, dog. We're getting sniped, dog.
Probably.
Happens fast, man.
Yeah.
Hey, my nigga, look, I don't even give a fuck. I open it with oh, they ain't get sniped.
same time. So that was just bad. That was weird timing.
Yeah, that wasn't it, right?
I thought he sniped it. Oh man, Hangouts is funny. You know, and the thing is like this sniping shit didn't start until about 3 months ago. Like you couldn't have done this before the update. And then they updated the shit, and people figured it out, and it's just been a problem all over. They won't even fix it. Like Google knows about it. Big Al sniped himself. Dude. Dude, that kid is a fucking genius, man. Yeah, everybody needs to go check out this dude named Fanny Lancer.
I
And
keep
just
getting
watch his shit.
I keep getting banned from Free Chan, dude.
You
Hey.
did snipe them, and they don't take too kindly to that kind
Damn,
of
were
shit.
they still not over that shit though?
Nah,
Hey,
man,
that shit-
come
that
on.
shit
We're
was
talking
like
Hey,
about
well,
that.
send me the link,
Weeks
bro.
ago.
But yeah, Fanny Lancer's new video is fucking epic. He's got Rumpus in the corner there.
Oh
You see
yeah,
that
yeah, with the
shit?
popcorn and shit. I was cracking up, bro.
Watch it. Wait, what was it? Von Helton getting a blowjob.
Von Helton,
Flexing.
you beat me
And then
to
that,
it.
and then that, what's his name? Haunted house at the end with the panties on his head. What the fuck is going on? Y'all need to go check out Fanny Lancer's shit. It's so shot out. Like that dude needs to be working for like Adult Swim or something.
Except for Adult Swim.
You know what I'm saying? Like that real shot out type comedy.
That's
Shit.
right.
You know, Zeiss has worked for Adult Swim. He was
Doing
an
what?
artist. He was an artist on a show for them.
Mm,
Like, actually, it's true. It's a fact.
you did?
Yeah, he did. It was on his Facebook page and stuff. He got doxxed like about a month ago. Fucking A4 doxed him. He found
See,
him and
this is
shit.
why I don't trust y'all niggas on the internet, yo. Y'all
Hey.
niggas will-
Well, A4, come on, we're talking about A4. He's crazy. He's a motherfucker. I'm so glad he isn't around. Apparently, he went to Thailand for vacation.
This is why I haven't added Flatty on Instagram, because I don't want him to dox me and my girlfriend and shit. Y'all
Like,
niggas gonna-
Flatty
gonna
will
put
get
my
all your
girlfriend all over the internet.
passwords. He'll get all your passwords and post them up and shit.
Fuck that.
Flatty's
No,
good at
no
that
offense,
shit.
Flatty. I love you, Flatty.
No, but Doxing's crazy, man.
I just found it, man. You still there? Go ahead, I'm ready.
We all here. Yeah, I'm trying to find your YouTube page, man.
Should I watch it HBO? Oh shit.
What's your YouTube channel name right now?
It's in the side chat. It's the same thing.
Well, it's not, man, not showing up when I search for it normally. That's all. Oh well. I just like to look at the YouTube chat.
Did-
when it's
Did
going.
you have you ever seen the Malcolm X movie that Denzel did?
Oh hell yeah!
Bro, that's a classic movie.
I saw it was weird. It was crazy the first time. I didn't see it till I was much older because like it came out when I was like 12 years old, so it
Mhm.
wasn't something I watched. But when I saw it, I was like 27. I watched that bitch 3 times in a week.
Bro,
I was. It's such a good movie. Like,
it's inspiring too.
yeah, for sure. Like, it really is.
The transition from being a criminal to a political, just a hero in general, bro. That's
And then
my
having-
favorite. That's my favorite human to ever
And then
exist,
having COINTELPRO fucking chase him down and shoot him up with 138 bullets.
Yep.
Shit's crazy. Same with King. Both of them went down with COINTELPRO.
Same with the Black Panthers.
Man, it all got infiltrated.
Yep.
And you know, the thing is, the DEA. It's been released the documents from the administration, the Nixon administration. The DEA was created along with several other projects, specifically to target the Black and homosexual communities. And
There we go.
yeah, that's why they call it the Drug Enforcement Agency. They're enforcing drugs on these particular groups.
That's right.
They're putting them there, letting them distribute, picking up the ones they want. And it's just they got this process on lock. So all the black men in fucking jails, you know, look at the increase from the 60s up. It's fucking
That's
crazy.
America.
It is.
But now
Prison.
it's to the point where they don't even care about white people. It's just It's just rich versus poor now.
Yeah, it's socioeconomic. There's no racial divide anymore.
Not anymore.
And that even benefits them if it's, when it goes socioeconomic. It's class rule at this point.
Because if this shit goes down, me and you are in the same boat, regardless of our color.
Yeah, we're in the same boat as it is, but yeah,
that's right.
If it goes down, it would. Unless I marry a Rothschild bitch or some shit like that, and that's the only way you can
Said a Rothschild bitch.
I don't know, some weird niece or some shit. My uncle is a Rothschild, that kind of shit.
Damn. If you had a kid with a Rothschild, your kid would be set though.
No, I need to go find me a nice Jewish girl. Settle down. Wait, like Alex Jones did.
Oh, what a coincidence.
He must be a traveling man.
I think he is, dude. He got called out on it.
Yep.
You gotta watch that video where some guy on the radio asks him if he's a Freemason, and he starts scrambling and does like this. Have you ever seen that Masonic sign where they put their hand to their temple next to their eye?
Yeah.
He was doing that.
That's the thing, man. They all scramble when you ask them that direct question. I got to find out if they can lie when these questions are asked, because
of course they can lie, dude.
Well, no, I'm saying when they're asked these specific. Because look what happened with John the other day when I asked him if he was a traveling man. Dude stumbled all over the place and then diverted the conversation, and then act like he didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. 10 minutes later.
That's right.
Let's do a Freemason check. Is anybody a Freemason in here?
Uncle is.
Uncle, you're a Freemason?
Nah, I don't think so.
Armando's Prince Hall Mason.
Freemason?
Oh God, don't play that.
Oh, come on.
Come on, Uncle.
Yeah, no, don't play that.
I think.
I was a Freemason youth. Yeah.
So you were a Freemason youth?
You guys know anything about Demolay?
Demolay, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
before.
go Google Demolay.
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
Is that like some Boy Scout?
Yeah, try that shit out once. It's the Masonic Youth.
Really? DEMOLAY.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a French.
Shit. A premier youth leadership organization building young men of character and dedicated to making young men better. So it is Masonic, though? Yeah, it is. The last Grand Master. Holy shit.
It's like the youth.
Whoa, listen to this. Listen to this. It was created by Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the Knights Templar in 1919. Holy shit, that's some serious business right there. How long were you in there?
About a couple of
That's interesting. But you didn't go any other. You didn't do anything else?
No, I didn't get past that. I didn't really. I kind of moved like once they break you down in chapters. Group I was in was called the Ankh chapter, and that one kind of died off over time. Like we all grew up, didn't get enough whatnot. So yeah, I never really pursued the Masonic thing. I've got a few Masonic friends though.
Yeah, I do too.
That continue
I've been
on. And
it's the lower levels. It's not really a big deal. I mean, if you meet the right people and you go the right direction, you could potentially get up to the conspiracy theory levels, I suppose you could say. But for the average Mason, they're just good people, who are in a brotherhood to try to be better. And, they don't really know the big dark secrets about it, but it gets pretty crazy at the top, man. As you can imagine, you're dealing with a lot of powerful people.
Funny when you're young,
Huh?
It's crazy when you're there, though, when you don't really think of things and that thing. So, when them around, they have these like famous that are Masonic, that former historical significant dudes, current significant dudes that are in higher power, organizations and government, and And now that I'm older and I look back, they do go all the way up to the top, man. They can pull strings.
Big time.
Shit can get crazy.
And the oaths that you make though as you go through in masonry, these are blood oaths. These are like when you read the oaths, they even go so far at some degrees to say, if I go against my brothers, you can cut out my tongue and gut me. And
first oath you take too.
Yeah, that you're on your knees in front of an altar, blindfolded, hoodwinked, saying these things, and they mean it. I mean, some not so much. Maybe I'm sure that there's some guys who just treat it as like tradition and they don't really, take it seriously. But I guarantee there's a whole bunch who do. And
I can confirm that for you. It is pretty much what you're talking about. Because as a DMLA, you don't go through anything like that extent, but everything is
they're preparing you for
like
it.
even when you're accepted, you go through like this big ass ritual. And there's officers, they set up these candles in a certain way.
Yeah. I've been studying Freemasonry off and on for years.
It's very crazy shit that I don't want to go looking back like into it. It's not my, it's like, damn, religious people come in and through the ceremony, and they just flat out said right after, "Now this goes against my religious beliefs," because there is some pretty controversial things that are done.
Yeah, some serious oaths and stuff too.
It's almost like it's almost religious.
Well, it is
in those organizations.
It is. I mean, really, it's Kabbalah, Gnosticism, and Hermeticism packaged up in kind of their own variety, so to speak. They've sectioned it out. The learning process, they've sectioned it out into 33 degrees, and they're giving you every step you go up. They're giving you more and more of the picture of this. And you could even trace it back to what they call Mystery Babylon schools. The Babylonian mystery schools, and it's essentially Kabbalah, if you really want to boil it down, and that's all it is. But that's the main. And then there's different branches. There's the Luciferian branches towards the top, who worship Lucifer as the ideal. They look at him as the light bearer, the one who gave us knowledge and reason, etc. So they don't have that satanic connotation to it, but that's definitely there. So you're right, it can get weird.
Like the other thing that it does realize this is the that belongs to Masonic. I can't quite remember the name. Off just memory. Yeah, so you had the D-Malays, and then you had the female youth version. And I want to call
what was it called?
I can't quite remember offhand.
Well, the female is the Order of the
Eastern Star.
Eastern Star. Thank you. That's the adult female one?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what the.
Yes. But
sure.
the other thing that was funny was that Jacques de Molay was actually executed due to court. They had him in court, and one of the things you go through when you enter is you reenact this play, and the Grand Master of the chapter plays the part of de Molay.
Wow.
And you sit there and you watch the trial of him being this,
That's weird.
and then Jacques de Molay. And then after that, that's where like a lot of crazy shit. I don't know, man. I was, if I stayed into that lifestyle, it is cultish. Like you wear these robes and these fucking capes and shit.
Yeah. Hey, I hate to say it, Uncle, but you keep chopping up and like cutting out, and unfortunately, you're hearing a little less than what I'd hoped to hear. Maybe it's your connection.
Okay, hold on. It's because I'm downloading a shitload of things right now.
Oh, that might be it. Okay. I mean, I'm getting the gist of what you're saying, but
That's right.
All right, I'll unload it, and then maybe I'll try then.
yeah, the whole Masonic thing. The reason why I pointed it out is because it's like the proving grounds, for the ones they find the most trustworthy. They get whatever they can on, over them through just knowing the man's secrets or putting them through things that they can use against them, etc. That's how we have all the manipulation that exists within that like conspiracy realm.
Yeah, crazy shit. The very first thing, the very first oath is secrecy. So there's that should tell you something.
Yeah. Did you get any impression of, not to go really weird or dark, but did you get any impression of any sexual misconduct from some of the older men?
Not at all. Not in our chapter anyway.
Well, that's good. But I can imagine it has happened or does happen. I mean, that's a lot, and that's another thing is that goes on quite a bit. They use sexual misconduct against the other members in actual Masonic lodges and stuff. So,
like hazing.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of that where they'll.
There is a lot of hazing, though. There is a lot of that going on, and also, I wouldn't be a good, because I didn't rank very high even in DMLA. So again, the first thing your oath is secrecy, and which also includes your ranks, what office you hold. So if you're a preceptor or a chapter guard, you don't anyway. So if the older guy's going to fuck around, it's going to be with other dudes in different offices. And
see, that's crazy. You got all these titles and shit,
so,
preceptor and chapter guard and all this shit. Like, that's the thing. These are small cults, they with all their rules and regulations and secrecy. Yeah. I also wonder about Boy Scouts.
It is.
I was in Boy Scouts growing up, and I saw some groups, some chapters that were very militant, strict, and cult-like. And luckily I was in like a laid-back one, and the guy didn't give a fuck. He just wanted to like go camping and shit and like, kind of do it laid back. But I saw some other ones that were weird. So I wonder if that's another breeding ground. I mean, think about it. You get Eagle Scout, you get scouted by the military and shit. I was considering going for Eagle Scout, and they usually have military recruiters come in and try to give you advice and stuff like that. So I'm sure that all of these are some type of breeding ground to find the right men, and they know what to look for. Do you believe in?
And then they say or whatever things to advance your rank. I don't. There's a lot of words I could use that you guys probably won't understand, but you have to test, like, it's a different discipline rather than that too, and that was easy. More family and those cults. It's a very disciplined thing. And
did you have to pay? Did your parents have to pay to have you in DMLA? Was there any fees?
Yeah, there would be fees, I'd assume.
No, they do DMLA.
You're breaking up pretty bad.
You're breaking up, man.
Yeah, I'm trying not to interrupt you, but I want to make sure I hear you.
Yeah, like my perspective as a kid, I don't know of like the parental fees, but from what I understand, there wasn't any really.
Mm.
Yeah, and we were doing a lot of fundraising, and a lot of it's funded through the Masonics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a Masonic organization.
There's a lot of,
like, I'm looking into it. heavily. I mean, Di Molay being literally the last Grand Master of the
Yes,
Knights
it is. It's
Templar.
far headquarters. Yeah.
That's a big deal. Like, especially Knights Templar. They're the more connected. This is a Jesuit operation. The Knights Templar are.
I might
you have a
still have
Catholic
my
upbringing?
handbook somewhere.
Did you have a Catholic upbringing?
But we didn't really, like, when I moved from California, yeah, I was baptized Catholic and went to little Catholic school, but over time
Yeah,
I
that's all I
became
mean. Yeah.
non-active. Yeah.
What part
Gotcha.
of California were you from?
Torrance,
Torrance?
Los Angeles,
Oh, okay.
LA County.
I'm from the San
I can
Fernando
get
Valley.
specific. I can say, yeah, Carson and Crenshaw.
Oh, shit. Crenshaw.
Yeah, one block away from Del Amo Mall.
Okay. I'm from the San Fernando Valley, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know where that's at?
I can't remember. It's been too long.
It's in the Hollywood area.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, that's right.
The Valley.
Oh, man. Oh, I'd kill for some grape nuts. Yeah.
That's right.
No, dude. God, I'm gonna have to find my handbook and read some shit out of it.
That'd be interesting.
For what's his name, Dick?
Yeah. It's my troll account. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the structure of it, the chapter officers and how it's done, and then so it looks like the appointed lower represent. They're called the seven preceptors. They represent the seven cardinal virtues of De Molay. You know, the organist.
That's
the
right.
Standard bearer, marshal, chaplain, sentinel, orator, junior steward, junior deacon, senior deacon, all the way up to master counselor. That's pretty serious.
Right.
How long were you in there for?
Oh, about a year.
Huh. Was your parents who wanted to get you in?
Yeah, they're the ones that kind of push for me.
Oh, listen to this.
And I was kind of like, had a couple with them. And
listen to this. So the order of the knighthood. Did you hear that phrase before?
Yes.
So it says from age 17 to 21, the knighthood program is for active de Molays. Knighthood priori has its own ritual and officers separate from the chapter system. Basically, it's saying that the whole thing is to set you up to be a fucking Knight of the Templar. Like the whole thing is to set you up to that.
It's very traditional. Yeah.
That is crazy. But yeah, these are the main players in most, like when you hear conspiracy theories talking about crazy shit, you know, when you dig down to the underneath of it all, you find a lot of these connections to Masonic organizations, Jesuits, Zionists, things like that. I don't know if you're in the conspiracy realm, you do much research on those topics, or if you think it's a bunch of hogwash. I don't know.
No, I believe in it. I mean, I didn't really look into it much, but I just know that there's corruption and organizations. And like I said, when you start off with De Molay, and then when you get, and then you leave it and you realize, man, okay, I know, man, thank God I got out of that, but I wouldn't call it a total like, and then you see stuff like, a few shows or documentaries. You're like, holy shit, I was kind of part of that. Not directly, but I was
got a little close.
Mentally programmed. Yeah.
It's
mentally
programming. Yeah, it's programming for sure. Yeah, I got invited.
And that's why I'm like skeptic now, dude. I'm like, I don't take sides as far as religion. I know there's God, but I don't. For all I know, he might be a fucking alien. I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to go deep. I don't go verbatim anymore.
Yeah, what I say now, like I'm detached from all religion. I say that it's clear to me that I've been created on this creation by a creator to create for said creator. Like that's all I know. I don't know what it is, who it is, what for. Nobody does. Everybody's just faking it till they make it.
Yeah.
The world is fucking crazy.
Anyone that claims to know God is a liar. Nobody
Well,
knows.
if they know like specifics of God, like I would say I know God. I would say you know God.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean,
but when they
if they
start
know,
saying like it's a guy, with a beard,
yes,
up in the clouds, then I have a problem. That's what I think you mean. Yeah.
hmm
But yeah, a lot of people get stuck on religion. When I was talking to some evolutionist kid the other day who was trying to prove, that there's no God through evolution and stuff. And he heard me say that line that I've been created on this creation. And he's just like, hold up now, hold up. You believe in religion? And I'm like, no, I don't fucking believe in religion.
hmm
But you just said you believe in a creator. You see, and here's what the problem is. These little atheist kids mix up these two concepts. Religion is man-made. It's a construct. It's a system in order to contain spirituality in a large regard. But it's a tradition. It's a man-made concept. We all feel the connection of God, if you want to recognize it or not. I think that's the difference. But these atheist kids, they basically they got mad because their parents made them go to church. And when they turned 18, they're like, I hate religion. I hate God. I'm an atheist. And I think they're missing the point.
I definitely hated going
Yeah,
to
man.
church though. As a kid,
I didn't like it.
Yeah,
shit was
I didn't
boring.
either. I was a Seventh-day Adventist. I had to go on Friday night to Saturday night. It was from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. It's like the best night if you're going to school all week and then Friday comes along. Nope, got to read your Bible and go to church early in the morning. Pissed at first.
That's right.
But it's all just nonsense, man. That stuff is the religious aspect of it.
It's amazing how much power it has, though. Like, as far as like what people will be willing to do.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm going to go back to the DMLA because I know a lot about that. But the funny thing is, the other thing about being sworn into secrecy is you might be joining a chapter. Like if you went to high school, right, and there's one kid that picks on you, or you pick on the one kid, and then you go and you get sworn in and you take an oath and you go through that, you might be in the same chair picking on it because the secrecy. You once you leave your chapter, and go back into the world because you have.
Yeah, you just kind of nod at them when you see them. Yeah.
Yeah, you act the same way, but you both also have an understanding of honor amongst each other because you're not allowed to speak or tell people about what you do because you have weekly meetings. And the first thing you talk about
a bunch of
through the 7 candles and your little rituals is the master will bring up, is there any concerns or issues you guys need to work out? In other words, yeah. So even though you might see 2 dudes duking it out in high school, if somebody were to step on something that is directly related to Masonic, those 2 dudes will turn straight on you, no questions asked.
And think about it, when you got a prosecutor, a judge, and a defense lawyer, and then maybe a couple, other Masons, in a circumstance or situation, and there's a Mason who's in trouble. You think that Mason's going to jail?
Not at all.
Not at all.
That's exactly what I was trying to get at. Was one of our I don't remember his rank. He was the dude underneath the chapter master or whatever the fuck he's called. His father had a heart attack and he didn't have very good insurance and he couldn't afford the operation. Next thing you know, bam, he's hooked up. And I'm like, hey, wow, that's cool shit. So that was automatically kind of like, hey, I think I'm in the right place. And then over time you realize, holy shit, I'm being brainwashed.
Yeah. It's manipulation, brainwash, what's called nepotism. It's I can see the value in it, but at the same time, it's in the oath that you could never go against a brother. So,
That's
you know,
right.
you could know as like a defense lawyer that that man killed that person. He could have just come right out and admitted to you. But because of your oath, you have to make sure that he gets away with it. You got to throw the fucking, court case. And I'm sure it happens every single fucking day on a scale that we can't even really comprehend.
Oh, me too. I mean, like I said, when De Millay was in being basically sentenced to death by the courts, it was pretty much, before leading up to that, you had to get secretive anyway because the way the politics was back in those days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was like, and the way they kept a lot of traditions that way for a reason.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's never
like I said, I
changed.
can see the value in it, but when you start seeing bad things happen in the world and it traces back to these individuals, that's when it becomes an issue. Like I'm not anti-Mason overall. Like I said, I've got friends that are Masons. I've been invited to be a Mason at one point, and apparently that's a no-no. But he was kind of just insinuating that I go in and talk to him and whatnot. But so I mean, I've been around it. I don't know. I see a lot of problems in like high echelon secret societies. It's really the reason the world is the way it is.
Because ultimately, when it comes down to it, they can say they have the interest of the people, but really
They
they have
don't.
the interest in their own flock.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they,
And
the riches go to their own sect. Their ideology goes to their own interest.
because
Never
with
mind everybody
Masonry,
else outside of that.
you've got two main sides of Masonry. You have the Jesuit connection, which goes up the chain from where you're at. You're talking about the De Molay. You got the Knights Templar and then several other, Rosicrucians, things like that. These are the Jesuit Roman, you know, they're working for Rome essentially. We'll put it that way. If
Yeah,
they know it or
definitely.
not. Yeah, if they know it or not. But then there's another side of it that is Zionist and Talmudic and was basically a Jewish Freemasonry. And if you look at the two ladders, you have I don't know if you've seen the two ladders of Freemasonry. One basically is up 33 degrees of the Catholic, the Roman side, and the other is basically the Jewish side. And this is how, they play off each other. They'll make the Jewish side, well, in the world stage, they'll make the Jews the enemy, so to speak, at one time, then they'll flip it around and make them the heroes. Like they've been playing this game for a long time.
Yeah, the secret society is a long game that. Uh,
Yeah, and then they say all roads lead to Rome. And the more I look into
hey,
it,
now you know why.
yeah, the more I look into it, the more I realize like that whole Roman Empire, it didn't really go away. Like the Vatican, you got the Vatican, you have London City, and you have Washington, D.C. You know what they have in common? They're the only three city-states that exist in the world. They operate with international law. They have their own police force, their own military, although small, their own military. Well, you could argue that the United States military is controlled there too. But so these three city-states, you've heard the Trilateral Commission,
Oh,
old term from
no,
the
I haven't.
80s. Okay. Well,
Okay.
Trilateral Commission and Bilderberg was created by the Rockefellers and the Council on Foreign Relationships back in the 80s, and basically in order to sync up those three city-states. So this is where the power is. You have the financial power in London, you have the military arm in Washington, D.C., and then you have the true ruler, which is Vatican City.
I
This
can see
seems to
that. Yeah.
be Yeah, from my research in my life, this is where I'm kind of led to believe at this point. And yeah, all roads lead to Rome.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's the thing that what gets me about thinking of things was, and it's such a small scale to think about, because like I said, I'm having to remember things now that I'm an adult versus when I was a kid, and things get lost in translation over time. But if somebody can pull strings to suddenly whoop an operation out of his ass, someone can pull strings to wreck government, and replace it with their own. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah.
And,
We've
and
had a
when you
couple
talk about
coups
all
before.
things go back to Rome, and they say Rome's fallen, well, that was probably by design in the first place and replaced by,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
some. So when people get talking about now going extremely shallow, because it's kind of a joke on this side of the world, the Trump versus Hillary, it's like, to me, it doesn't matter. They don't matter. They're not they're puppets. They're Muppets. They're not the real, they don't have any real fucking say in anything. It's the
Yeah,
guys
I
with the
agree
dollars. It's
100%.
the guys with the contacts.
Yeah, there's been a shadow government for quite a long time. You can make the argument that it was before Kennedy, but when that happened with Kennedy, that was them coming out into the open with themselves, so to speak.
Yeah,
Not so blatantly,
I
but
believe it was
letting
a message. Exactly what you're talking
exactly
about.
they're
I believe
letting
that was
their
the message.
yeah they're letting the people who are in the know and their enemies know how serious they are. That they're in power now. They're taking over. They did that in broad daylight. And if you look at here's something to look up: the Masonic links to John F. Kennedy's death. Um, where he was shot was right in front of the Mason temple. There was significance in like the position that he was apparently shot at, the roadways. It's really interesting when you get into it because they're really big about symbology and numbers, numerology, things like that. So they got their fingerprints on it. But OSS and CIA, I mean, that's nothing more than the Vatican, essentially. You look at the CIA only kind of pulls from Jesuit trained schools like Georgetown. They have to have like a Jesuit influence in them or be in secret society. So I think this was a coup. There's a shadow government that we're dealing with here. And
Oh,
people look at,
definitely.
yeah, Trump and Hillary and they pretend like, I saw all this. I did that stupid shit and I voted for Ron Paul back in 2008, thinking that that was like my last chance for this to work. You know what I mean? Like I was 26 years old and I'm like, okay, they say this country works this way. I'm going to go out. I think this guy's got a good message. And all he was there for was to gather up like-minded people like me and put, you know what I mean? Like it was the same with, they always do it with the third party libertarian types.
I
They
was going to
gather
say,
up
I
those,
remember Ross Perot even.
yeah, yeah. And so they always
Talking
do
about, like,
that.
if you want to talk about a businessman, and I'm like, well, Ross Perot was considered for a bit, and then near the end, he fell off the planet basically in the polls.
They
So
all do.
where
They all do.
where Trump's done very well for himself, but it's all a
Yeah,
game.
but it
So
is.
it's already determined.
It's a clown show. It's 100%. Like, and if anybody gives their energy to this, I feel bad for them. Is really what the point I'm making. So, I mean, like I've seen this for 10 years. I tried to give it a go and tried to, be the adult or whatever the good American. But I've realized, just like you're saying, it's all a fiction. And Mark Twain, there's a quote by Mark Twain where he said, if if voting actually mattered, they wouldn't let us do it.
Exactly. Like I'm not like a guru on the voting system, but it's like George Washington and all his buddies were fucking geniuses. They knew, okay, here's the advantages of a parliament system. Here's the disadvantages of the parliament system and the monarchy. Okay, this is how we're going to do things. We're going to give the
Mhm,
public a chance to feel like they actually fucking matter and their vote
mhm.
actually counts for something when it fucking doesn't, because your vote, what you're actually voting for, is an elector.
Yeah.
Okay. And that elector gets to vote on your behalf of your state in your little area. So, like in California, you have 55 fucking electors, where
Yeah.
Wyoming has like, I don't know, I can't remember. It's been too long for me, but 2 or 3 or 1, and
Yeah.
it costs. Well, anyway, the long story
Yeah,
short,
the
you're
electoral
voting
college.
for somebody to
Yeah.
vote for you. And
Yeah.
24 states, they're going to vote however they fucking feel like. So if you have a Masonic guy or a CIA guy or whatever, he's going to vote however the fuck he's been told to.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And then you have this thing called gerrymandering. So the winning party gets to dictate the fucking borders of where the votes actually come from.
Oh yeah, for the local.
with-
For the local
Yeah.
situation.
So
Yeah.
there you go. There's a more fucking. That's a legal way to fucking fix things up for themselves and have things predetermined in advance.
Let me ask
And
you
trying
something.
to explain
you know-
that in all these chat rooms, it's like, whoa.
Oh yeah, a lot of these people, if they believe in the election, then what we're talking about, you can't say to them. It's just too far beyond what they understand or comprehend. That's what I realized. People who believe in it, they're not ready for any type of like real truth like that. But did you know? Well, let me ask you, how many presidents were there before George Washington?
I have no idea. I want to say just him. Wasn't he the first one, but I
You'd
don't know.
want to say that. Yeah, we've been told that there were 8 presidents before George Washington in an 11-year span, and
true.
they are the ones. Yeah, they were the ones who handled like the Treaty of Paris. They each of them had a very instrumental role in setting up everything, basically for Washington to seal everything in, so to speak. But the reason why Washington is made to be the first president is because he is the first Freemason president. You should look into this.
I'm gonna read that tonight, man. I'm gonna read
Yeah,
that
just
tonight.
type in, Google. There's a couple good websites on it I found recently where they'll go through and they explain each individual who was the president at the time and what they did. But it's official. There were 8 U.S. presidents before him, and it even says on his monument in Washington, the first Freemasonic president. And then you have in the Congress on the dome, his painting. It looks like a Michelangelo painting. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called the Apotheosis of George Washington. The word apotheosis means ascending from man to God.
Holy shit.
Dude, this country is so fucked up, dude.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. And you've seen all the occult symbology of the layout of the land of Washington, D.C., right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There's something very different going on about this place, and people don't know it. I mean, why do we got a big ass obelisk right there across from the White House? They call it the Washington Monument.
The other thing you don't realize, well, you probably do because you're very smart, intelligent, and researched. But a lot of people, when you talk Masonic, they forget that it was back from Roman days. So, like
Pythagoras was
over
the first
here in New
Mason.
Zealand, I'm like, if I wanted to go into, go right back into Masonic and say, hey, I was D. Malaya, but blah blah blah, and I could probably join up over here. They have headquarters and temples all over.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Pythagoras. Pythagoras is known to be the first Freemason. He had a cult that he had created called the Cult of Pythagoras, and the methods that he used originally to kind of bring the people in and keep them, with him and whatnot, are the methods the Freemasons use. That's why they worship Pythagoras and Solomon's Temple and Solomon, and so it's really interesting, the whole history of it. And this country is a Freemasonic country. All the founding fathers were Freemasons or Gnostics. It's like I said, there's something very different going on about what this is, and all the world's a stage, and they just present it one way when it's really something different for the unwashed masses, as they call us.
Yeah, I like to say sheep, but that probably complements the Bible as well. But I think it was. I think it was might have been you that asked about child sexual abuse or something, and
Oh, in
and
the in the demolay, if that had occurred.
yeah, and I couldn't, and I said no, but like then again, I said that they could have, and I would have never known. But the thing that did suck about it was the extreme pressure of balancing, your oath to keep secrets and even who was involved in that, and even though you're going to school together and whatnot, and trying to juggle like a religious belief and respect of others versus your own agenda, that is mentally abusive to have to, like you said, if you're a judge and a lawyer and your mate is the one on trial for murder, you're honor bound to do everything you can to protect your own, even though there is honorable rules for breaking such and such laws. But if somebody from the higher up were to tell you, no, we need this fella, you have to kind of find, I don't know, it's weird. It's almost like a Muslim-like fucking thing. It's a very mentally draining, abusive situation that you're constantly going through throughout the months and weeks. And people are asking, where'd you go? Are you a Boy Scout? And you're like, well, yeah, well, sort of. It's like that, but yeah, you just kind of fucking loop around it.
And you said what years were you in there? How old were you?
Then you're fucking, what's that?
How old were you when you were in it? Like, how old were you when you were introduced to it?
16.
So, okay. So I imagine they go as low as 13, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I forgot the minimum age. I probably have my field book here, or my little book that I can't remember what it's called, but
that's awesome.
I think it is 13, actually. It might have been. It seems familiar. 12 or 13 is the minimum age.
That's interesting.
Dude, I've probably forgotten way more than I learned, because there's a lot you learn. It's like fucking learning a movie, because the ceremonies you do are pretty much like drama. It's like fucking reenacting this and reenacting that. Even down to how you're supposed to march around the 7 candles that's in the middle of the altar. And how you kneel. You practice how you kneel in front of the altar.
Yeah.
Weird, crazy shit. Just little things.
Yeah, it says it's from age 12 to 21. And then they have all these different days that they do. I'm reading about it right now. It's really interesting.
Oh, cool. So a lot of it got out then. Sweet.
Well, it's on Wikipedia. But
they're back then, though, we didn't have like a lot of Wikipedia. Like internet was like fucking old school modem that made a bunch of obnoxious noises and
the early 90s.
Like nowadays, there's not many secrets left. Well, the ones that don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
There's plenty of secrets, but
yeah, I know.
I hear these things about dark web or whatever that's called, and I'm thinking, there's already another layer on top of that, I bet.
Yeah. Don't ever go to the dark web. That shit's crazy.
No, I don't plan on.
That shit's crazy.
Armando already fucked with my head once.
And the thing is, a lot of people don't know this, but the program you use to get into the dark web, which is just another layer of internet traffic that isn't like, they use this program called Tor. Now, what most people don't realize, they think that when they download Tor and they learn how to use this onion dot whatever, I forgot how it's all done, that they're safe and secure. And you are to some degree. You're using VPNs and everything. But the problem is Tor was created, manufactured, and used still today by the Department of Defense as a secure way to transfer information. They have their own web that they have created. So Tor is something that was released by our government for the population to use. I don't know if you remember about 6 years ago, but there was a bunch of news media hype about it, where they were just like, oh, a new internet system coming out called the dark web, and people are using this Tor for all of these terrible things. And well, why do you think it was on the news? It was to promote its usage so that the pedophiles and drug dealers and all the people who think that they're getting away with something jumps on and does it. Do you know how many people they've caught up with that shit? It's crazy to look at the numbers. Like it was a net.
I was gonna say, yeah, if it's on the news, man, it's like old school already.
They're telling you, yeah, they're telling you to use it. Like that's what the whole thing is. Look what happened recently. Well, you're in New Zealand, but there's a stupid fucking game called Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
And
we got that.
so what
We had a
happened?
big fucking thing on it.
There was a news blitz for a good 2 weeks where they were just
Yeah.
bringing up story after story of somebody getting hit by a car, walking across the street playing Pokemon Go, somebody falling in a lake playing Pokemon Go. There was all these stupid, what sounded to be fake, stupid news stories. But here's the thing. Pokemon Go is a platform that was created by a man from Google in order to collect GPS data and visual data of the terrain. So what's happening is these people are using the GPS, they're using their cameras to like they're putting the Pokemon in a place they don't have a picture of yet. So the person walks over with the GPS, they pick up their phone and they take a picture of it. So this is just data mining, and they're not having to pay people to do it. The people playing Pokemon Go are paying Google to do it because there's like microtransactions. It's fucking brilliant if you really think about it. Like, so they're feeding their new AI systems with all of this data that these individuals who are playing Pokemon, they're tricked into playing Pokemon Go, and they're just giving them all this data. That's what it is. It's a data collection program.
It was a brilliant scheme. That's how I felt. I didn't think about it to that level because, like I said, nowadays I keep things simple.
Well, there was a game.
It does go back to
there was a game prior. Sorry to cut you off. There was a game prior called Ingress, Ingress, that had the exact similar premise where you're going location to location, but it just had a different GUI, different feel about it. And that was made by Google, and it was like a beta test thing, right? And only certain people got it, and it was just kind of like a, small little thing. But that was their practice for Pokemon Go. So it's brilliant. What these guys are doing at that high level, Google, in my opinion, is the public face of the NSA. I don't see it any other way at this point. Like they changed the name of their corporate outfit. Did you hear the name they changed it to?
Now, what did they change?
Well, they have like 30 different companies underneath them. So Google's the main one, but you do have all these other companies that they own and started. So they created an umbrella corporation called Alphabet Agency. Think about that. Let that sit in for a second.
Yeah.
I swear to God. Google it. Funny enough, we just say it like it's a verb too. Google it. Seriously though, if you type in Alphabet Agency, this first thing that comes up is their corporate umbrella corporation.
Huh.
And what's an Alphabet Agency? FBI, CIA, NSA. That's what we call them. It's crazy, dude. This world is fucking crazy.
I remember seeing a documentary, man, and I was like, yep, that's pretty much, I played that game into their hands and didn't even know it. But back even before all these games and shit, like internet was starting to become easy to use for once. And I remember they were trying to figure out how to spy on people and how hard it was to get information. But then they have all these fucking agreements, right? And they got longer and longer, and nobody fucking reads them anymore. It's like, oh, I'm going to download this because I want to watch a movie, and then I'm just going to tick the box. And it's like you're basically free-willing them to use all your information. You're basically giving them permission to. Yeah, it's like, well, shit. Where was that? To a spy back in the day, they're like, well, if we knew about that back in the '60s, well, shit. They come to us. It's like, and then they magnify that by location with all these games.
Oh yeah.
And now, like the Google Maps, everybody loves that because you can take a virtual walk down any street.
But think about this: if you're all, oh sorry,
if they know that you're up to something and you're going to Google search where you're supposed to meet somebody, they're going to already be there.
Yeah, I've actually. Yeah, we're okay. So everybody worried about the mark of the beast. you know, I grew up a Seventh-day Adventist. These are Christians who go to church on Saturday who believe the return of Jesus is imminent. Okay. And so it was all revelations and New World Order. And like I was raised with this information. I'm 35 now, but when I was a teenager, I was like trying to be a pastor because I was just like so into it at the time. Anyways, so I heard about you've heard the mark of the beast, right? I don't know how religious
Yeah.
you've ever been, but you know, they say a mark on your hand or on your forehead that will you have to have in order to purchase, in order to get food, in order to live in this new world order society. Well, they're overlooking something major here because we've had that for the past 10 years. We have a GPS tag in our pocket that we refuse to accidentally leave at the house. How many times I've been with friends where they left their phone at the house and we had to turn around and alter our fucking plans because they couldn't leave the house without their phone. But you have a GPS tag, a microphone that's always on, and it is, I can prove it, a camera that they can turn on whenever they want. It's in the user agreements. All the data, all your text, all of your porn watching, all of anything that you will do on there can be viewed remotely by contract by these organizations. And
Yeah.
the DEA, it's been proven that the NSA and the DEA have their foot well into that door, and they've been able to access people's information as needed. That happened back with the Bell breakups back in the 90s when AT&T got hit with antitrust, and then when Microsoft got hit with antitrust back in 96. That the antitrust laws is how the government wedges themselves in for control. So nothing's on accident. This stuff has been planned for a very, very long time. And that phone, and I'm guilty of it too. Sitting here talking to you on it. Got a $600
Yeah.
device right here. GPS is on and fucking everything, you know. And even if you don't use your GPS, Google always registers whatever Wi-Fi you're at and puts that down as your GPS location because IP addresses have locations. So if I walk to, you know, a store and Wi-Fi hits it, it'll register where I'm at. And I don't know if you ever looked at your Google history. It's not called Google Analytics. It's like, I forgot what it's called. It's Google. Anyways, it's a whole page where you can view your personal history with your Google account, and you can click any day of the calendar for as long as you had that Android phone, and it'll show you every location you went to, at what time you made a call, at what time you asked Google for something. Dude, it's scary, man.
Yeah.
But people don't
It
know
is,
about
man.
that.
Like, I'm paranoid, dude. Like, you know, I'm a type of guy that if I'm gonna go out and have fun, like on my little picture of what do they call it? Avatar? It's a little waterfall, right?
Yeah.
That thing's takes me 5 minutes to get there. That's the one thing I love about New Zealand. I'm like, hey man,
Oh, really?
I live in Lord of the Rings.
You've
Like,
taken that picture?
everywhere I go, I can drive 15 minutes and be. This is
Wow.
how it is over here. You can just literally. That's a park, by the way. You
That's
go to
beautiful.
some park. It looks like any old USA park. You walk past it, and then you get into the fucking trees, and they have trails and things, and you're
That's
there in like
amazing.
10 minutes. But if I go out, like to where you live in a society where everybody does everything with their phone, you know, they selfies and texting and mapping, you know, use your GPS and everything. I'm the guy that leaves my phone home. Like I don't even have GPS phone. I got the old school button pushing phone.
You got a
even though we
flip
do
phone or some
have
shit. Yeah.
But if I'm going, it's a waterfall. I leave that shit at home, man. I'm like, you know what? And you know what? They can still clone other people's phones. So if they were going to want to track me, man, it's easy. So they don't have to. They don't have to track me on my own phone. Even they just sit there and bounce the signal between other people's phones. And
yeah, it's
so
getting to a.
People don't even realize that. Like I don't really use. We call it FPOS. I don't know what you guys call it. You know, electronic money. So you zap your card through the thing when you buy a Coke.
Yeah.
Not me. I pay cash always. Even though I know they can still track cash, but it's hard to. Like you have to.
Yeah.
You have to source the origin of the monetary serial number or whatever, but it's a lot harder to track paper money. And
they're moving
like,
towards that cashless
I don't like
society.
telling people when I eat McDonald's. I don't want. Yeah, I'm all paranoid.
No, I feel you, man. I mean, I'm similar, but I'm very disconnected from the system. Luckily, I'm a minimalist. I'm about to. I just moved back from Denver. All I own is a laptop, a backpack, and a couple outfits, and I kind of travel around a lot right now. And I kind of disconnected from everything about 3 years ago. And it's just the direction that city life, that corporate life is going is just not for me anymore. I'm trying to go out into the woods. I was out in the Rockies for about 8 months,
Oh
for a little
yeah.
bit with some friends. Yeah, I was out in Glenwood Springs near Aspen for about 8 months, and then I went to Austin, Texas for a little bit. I want to get out of country here real soon, just like you did.
Yeah.
New Zealand was a target point for me to go to, but now Uruguay seems to be the place I'm shooting for.
That would be rocking. Wouldn't mind checking that place out.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
laid
New
back
Zealand's
there
great.
too.
I mean, the thing too, like people don't understand is like a piece of dirt's a piece of dirt, man. Like I hate it when they like try to compare nations. Oh, mine's got this education, mine's better at healthcare, mine's better at this. We're at this, that. I'm like, yeah, but you still have rich people, you still have fucking poor people. And I'll tell you
Hmm.
what, you go down in the poor neighborhoods, I like to call them ghettos,
Hmm.
and that's been very similar because I've been to Vancouver, I've been up to fucking almost to Alaska, I've been in Mexico, I've been in Australia. Everywhere I have been, if you're in a poverty zone, they're all similar, man. It's not a
Hmm.
good place to be. If you're in a place like Vancouver is basically the Beverly Hills of Canada. Well, shit, it was great there. You know, I was like, fuck, well, this feels like I'm in Beverly Hills. I'm sweet. Take the wrong turn into Hastings, and oh, I'm back in Shitsville. So every country has its problems. It's just the culture is different. Like here, I'm not going to get shot by police. I'm not going to get
Yeah,
shot in the bay. A guy that got drunk and thought I was looking at his girlfriend. I'll probably get beat up on, and don't fuck with the gangs. And I'm sweet. All right.
yeah, yeah. I
But
know what you
you
mean.
know, there's a lot
Yeah,
of theft here though.
I grew up in Tampa, Florida, but actually right next to the projects. Yeah, I kind of grew up poor socioeconomically, and then my mom remarried a Navy guy, so I got to travel around and have kind of a middle class feel,
Oh,
through my
that's cool.
teens. Yeah, living on Navy bases and stuff like that. But I've lived in some pretty bad neighborhoods, through my 20s and
That's what I
everything
meant
like
when I
that.
said
But
that was cool. Was you got the middle class part? Because I got the idea you did come. You have experienced the ghetto.
yeah, I experienced that all the way up until age 11, and then after we, my mom remarried, then up until about age 18, we ended up in Jacksonville, and I just kind of stayed. The ghetto I went to in Jacksonville was more like a redneck ghetto. I moved out to the west side because it was cheaper, and that's just a little different vibe. But I've been around, and before I started traveling, there was this whole grass is greener on the other side complex that I had, and I didn't realize I had it. I thought when I'd get out to the west, the people would be better. I thought that maybe the climate would affect me better. You know what I mean? Like I had all these more optimistic views on the change of scenery, and it's not the case. It's grass is greener on the other side, just like you said. Land is land, you know. And I just don't want to be in America anymore. That's my biggest thing. But my family's
Yeah,
here.
I feel you.
But my family's here though, and the only reason why I'm not out already is because of that. I would have been gone many years back. I made this decision because I mean I've been awake, so to speak, before 9/11, and to see the direction this country has gone, it feels like 1938 Germany to me. You know what
Wow,
I
I'm
mean?
glad you
Like
said that because I've been bashed like through some of these chats saying, "Dude, you're not seeing what I'm seeing, man. You guys." That's exactly how I fucking feel, man. That's exactly how I feel. And in a few of the
it,
chats, I've brought up the fact that when Trump builds that wall, if he gets in, that's going to be fucking like Germany, East West Germany again. And it dude, you can sit here
yeah,
and say communist this, communist that, but it's so Cold War again, and then before that, it's so visible to me, man. It's like, it's crazy. I'm like, man, you guys just don't get it. But
Yeah.
you know, they're the ones that live there, so I respect that. I can only just, you know, sit back and go, well, you guys got to deal with it more than I do. I do have family there though, and it is hard, but they got to deal with it. If they don't see it,
that's
they're
the
fucking
biggest
retarded.
thing.
Well, they're not retarded. They're just, the system is in place, and it's hard to break from that system.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I got out, dude, it took 8 years to break the culture, like the culture shock, I call it. You get, I don't know, it's weird. You can't really, I guess you have to just experience the culture shock. I can't put it into words.
Well, I've been I haven't watched TV in 15 years, literally. Not even exaggerating. I haven't listened to the radio in probably more than that time frame. And I don't go to bars. I don't really interact very much with a lot of folks who would, you know, be in that paradigm, so to speak. And that's given me an ability to kind of look in on, you know, what's been happening over the past 15 years. And I knew 9/11 was false flag operation. Doesn't matter who fucking really did it or how it went down. People want to sit here and argue over the details, and I don't think it's necessary. It's to see that it was a new Pearl Harbor. It was the precursor to go to war with the Middle East. And that,
exactly. I mean, who and how didn't matter. It's what it did.
Yeah, we know who ultimately, you know, who benefits. What is the old maxim, the Latin maxim? You know, who benefits? You know,
exactly.
And you look who was in power, who got all the contracts out there. Well, it was Dick Cheney's company that he was CEO of at the time. You know, there's just tons of these oligarchical nepotism, you know, behaviors, and then you look at his father. How many times did President Poppy Bush Sr. say, "We see a time right now where we can forge a new world order"? Did you know on 9/11 of 1991, that's when he gave his famous New World Order speech? Did you know that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hold up. At 9/11 in the morning.
Oh, now that I didn't know.
Brother, go look at it. I'm telling you. That speech where he's in front of Congress and he says, we have a time now that we can forge what is called a new world order, where Law of the Jungle, you know, goes out, and he goes and gives that speech. It was that he began at 9 o'clock that morning to give that speech. And this was literally 10 years to the day when 9/11 occurred. So, you know, this is, and then you look at who Bush was, then you look at who Prescott Bush was, and then you look at who fucking killed Kennedy, all this stuff, and it's conspiracy candy, and you can get caught on the details, but it doesn't matter, because if you see the bigger picture, you see it, you know? There were plenty of, that's why I say it's like 1938 Germany. How many people got out of Germany when they saw it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a group of smart individuals who saw what was coming, you know, and they left. And that's it.
Yeah.
You know, we're one crisis away from being martial law state here in America. Think about what. Let's say an EMP goes off in a city. What do you think is going to happen? The reserve's going to come in, martial law. They're going to come in, possibly even door to door, collecting guns. And I'm not like a gun nut or anything, but they did it after Katrina. They did it after the Boston bombing. They did it after several other catastrophes. Recently in Ferguson, they instituted martial law with the curfew, and they went door to door in certain neighborhoods taking guns. And the only, what's the phrase?
I can relate to that.
Yeah, what's the phrase? The only way evil wins is by good men not saying something along those lines.
Yeah.
But I see it, and a lot of people say I'm crazy for seeing it. But it's nice to talk to somebody who doesn't say it's crazy.
It's not though. It's like I said, it took me 8 years to break a certain culture, a culture shock for me, because like over here, like I had a friend of mine I talked to, and I forgot how sensitive people are about the vote act, and I posted on my Facebook a fucking meme that I thought was funny, but I forgot that I'm disconnected now, really. And an old friend of mine just ripped into my ass over it. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. Okay. So I messaged it back, and we had this, fucking kiss and makeup fucking bromance shit going on, right? And then he's down talking me like, oh, you guys in the jungle probably not even allowed guns, and you guys in jungle, you even get poles, blah blah blah. I was like, well, thing is, this culture doesn't talk about it. I got a friend that's a hunter, and he's probably got more guns than even you do. And
well, he's probably well
it's just
licensed,
not-
and they check on him every 6 months or some shit.
yeah, we have gun control that's over here. They have a lot of gun control, but it's not like nobody has guns. It's just a different culture, like even the military, like in America, you have all these war movies and these documentaries, and everybody, everybody that served is just willing to talk about some stuff about what they've done. Here, it's kind of like a coded thing that they just don't talk about it. I mean, they'll answer you if you nag them with questions, but otherwise,
I get you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's just not cultural. It's not
There's
the
almost no.
there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to get. And I remember before 9/11, dude. It was like I remember driving across. I go up to my friends like, hey, my dad's a traveling doctor right now. He's serving up in Canada. He's got a camper. He wants to bring us down. You're the one that drives trucks. Can you come up with me and drive this big fucking thing down? I was like, yeah, sweet. Fuck, I'm not going to say no to that. We basically drive it. We breeze across the border. I didn't have a passport, neither did he. And then fucking it was harder getting back in the country. And then fucking next, 9/11 happens. And just to fly anywhere, there's fucking dudes with machine gun, well, M16, A4s, but, well, back then I think it was A2s. But
wait, where at?
I don't. What's that?
Where'd you say the guys with the A2s are at? The machine guns?
Oh, just
Where
at
were
the
you
airports.
Oh, at the airport.
Oh, at the time,
See, I was actually
at the time.
I was
started
on
in Salt Lake.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
Salt
on
Lake
Mayport Naval Station. I was on Mayport Naval Station when it happened. We went to Delta 5 or Delta 4, whatever it's called. They locked the military base down, and they basically put the residential area into martial law. There were truckloads of men with M16s going up and down our roads for 3 days when 9/11 happened. But anyways, that's a side story, but go on.
No, it's just like I remember going in and out of airports. I remember driving across the border anytime I fucking wanted. Now you have to have a passport. There's fucking it's crazy even getting on an airplane nowadays. It's like what the fuck happened to?
They locked it down.
Exactly.
They locked it down. That's what they wanted to do. That's what they wanted to do. That was the whole plan. The problem, reaction, solution. Yeah, they did. More so, and they're going to keep doing it more and more and more and more. And and the thing is like I don't want to. I don't even like. There was a point 10 years ago where I'm like, God damn it, we're gonna fix this shit, right? Like that's why I'm
saying, right.
Like, I'm gonna support Ron Paul, and hopefully we can do it on that level. But if not, I'm gonna tell as many people on YouTube that this is happening, and then I'm gonna tell my friends. And now I'm just like, okay, you fuckers won't listen to me. Whatever, you're retarded. I'm going over here. You can follow me if you want, but this shit is fucking crazy. You can't stop this. You cannot stop what they've been planning for hundreds of years. These people with no budget, with no ability, you know what I mean? Like, this is such a powerful, and I'm not saying like, oh, be scared, be afraid. I'm saying recognize it for what it is, get the fuck out of its way, and be a free human being somewhere. Because in 10 years, you could make the argument that we're definitely not free right now, but in 10 years, where the fuck will it be? They're continuing to lock this place down, So good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I don't have anything. Like it burns my butt too. I've been called traitor and this and that and shit.
No,
I'm like,
them. No,
I'm like, whatever, man.
No, fuck them. I had a friend pull that shit with me. I actually had a friend pull that shit with me the other day, talking about I'm just running away. I'm just wanting to run away. How about, you try to fight it on a different level or whatever. And he's not talking about like violence or anything. He's talking about like using the legal system, law, contractual stuff. You know what I mean? Like approaching things differently. And I was like, no, fuck that. No, I'm gone. I'm gone. This is dumb. I've seen this. Like I know about the Gulf of Tonkin and the way that the Vietnam War begun when I was 14 years old. My real father was in Vietnam, and when I was old enough to understand things, 12, 13, 14, I started looking into, because my stepdad was Navy, my real dad was Army. So I knew my dad got fucked up in Vietnam, and he was there for 3 years, and he came back a little tilted, we'll put it that way. He was a good man, but he had problems because the Vietnam War fucked up a lot of people. So when I was old enough to understand, I wanted to know. I come upon the history of this, and it's the Gulf of Tonkin was a false flag that was committed in order to get us into war falsely. This is admitted. It's in our history books. Like it's not like a secret that because they didn't kill anyone. This is probably why it's not looked upon as so terrible. But it's horrible. It's horrific that we would use a false flag to get into war.
It
and
is. It's a
so when
heartbreaker.
9/11 happened, it is because you have this idea of what the country should be or could be or is, and justice and honor, and all of these ideals go out the window. And then my stepdad's in the Navy, which I think it was Forrestal who did it, wasn't it? Who was it who did the Gulf of Tonkin?
Anyway, so either.
But anyway, so when 9/11 happened, what did you think I thought? I fucking knew. I fucking knew right then. And the funny thing is, I was in MEPS 3 days prior, the Friday prior. I was going into the Air Force. I was 20 years old. This is what happened on 9/8/2011. I was at MEPS swearing in when the fucker pulled me out of there and said, hey, we found a red light ticket on you. You didn't disclose to us. We can't allow you to ship off and swear in until you take care of this ticket. And I was like, okay, fine. And I had to come back the next Friday, do the whole process at MEPS again. I was so pissed off. So the weekend comes by, Monday comes by. Tuesday morning, I wake up early to go pay this ticket that I didn't even know I had anymore. I tried to pay everything off at once, and they didn't find this ticket at the one office I was at, blah, 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 whatever. I'm sitting there tying my shoes, eating my breakfast, and I see World Trade Center burning, and then I see a plane live fly into this, well, what they purported to be a plane, fly into this building. So I watch everything unfold, and probably around 11:45 in the morning, I called up my recruiter and I told him, I'm sorry, I can't go in. I'm sure you have plenty of people signing up, but I have to figure out whose war I'd be fighting, and I need some time to figure that out. And he said, I completely agree. Yeah, man, I mean, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it was actually a hard decision because I was looking forward to it. I was going in for command and control into the Air Force. I scored 92 on my ASVABs, and I was ready to go. My life wasn't too great at the moment, and so financially it was going to be a boon. It was going to be exciting, and then that happened. But still, looking back on my life, I'm grateful I made that choice because of what happened. I knew they were going to do that. I knew they were going to do that shit, man.
Yeah, it's gut buster.
It's crazy.
I remember too because I remember we were getting ready to play a game of basketball, right? And we used to gather up in front of this little fucking deli, and then fucking see who where we're gonna go and do whatever. And next thing you know, we get the news. We're like, fuck, I don't feel like playing. And I'm sitting there thinking, fuck, maybe I should do something about it. I started getting that fucking American patriotic fucking rage going, and my other buddy, and then I started thinking about shit, knowing what I've been through, and I'm thinking, who would I be fighting against? And my first thought was Nam. That didn't end well for us. We're fighting an enemy. We don't. Well, I didn't know what to think. I just, like you, I'm like, I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna take a step back, learn my shit first, and then decide. My other buddy, he's like, fuck it, I'm going in. I'm going right. He went down, fucking marched in there, and went off and got stationed, got his foot damn near blown off by a fucking, you know. But
I
no,
had
he's
3
fine now.
friends. I had 2 family
it's like, dude.
and several friends go in after the fact. After they fucking knew it was a false flag. They still went in. Just
Yeah.
because they were so disconnected from what that meant, I suppose. I don't even know what goes through a person's head. Because I was screaming this from the rooftops from the beginning. Like, investigate this shit properly. This is not right. And I was in Jacksonville, Florida at the time. I was in a very Republican, rah-rah. Everybody had a fucking flag out. Like, they all fell for the propaganda. They all fell for it, you know. And anytime, I mean, I was shouted down on numerous occasions by speaking out and questioning the validity of 9/11. Like, because I was doing it early. And I mean, I was a kid. I was like 21, 22 years old. I look back and like I did it with poor tact, probably. But it was still something that I realized early on, like damn near immediately. Never in the history of architecture have buildings or airplanes have buildings fallen from fire damage. And there were not just 2 buildings, not just 3 buildings that fall, but there were 6 buildings that fell that day. A lot of people don't know this because there were 3 other buildings in the World Trade Center complex that were utterly destroyed too, in strange ways as well. But Building 7 to me was the biggest. I saw that live. Their fuck up on BBC and everything. I don't know.
Then there's the wreckage in, was it Pennsylvania, where the people on the plane took it back over, crash landed.
You get that nice little package that propaganda film they put out a couple of years back. Flight 93.
Yeah. Ugh. What cracks me up though is if you look at the original news footage and shit, where's the wreckage?
There's none, man.
There's none, man. Exactly. It was like, fuck that. What? I didn't catch on to that for at least a year after. A friend of mine pointed that one out. I was like, are you shitting me? Because at the time I was, what? Look at that. Look at this. You know what pissed me off too before that? The weapons of mass destruction, fucking Desert Storm. And I'm like, that kind of pissed me off because you're asking a lot of fucking dudes to go fight for a lie. How many times you fucking go to war over a lie? So you're asking Americans to go out there, lay their lives on the line to say I fought for freedom when really they fought for greed.
Yeah, there's a whole.
That's what pisses me off.
You know how many? You know what's crazy? Here's a statistic that a lot of people don't realize. Since since 9/11, we'll put it this way: since 9/11, there have been more soldier suicides than there have been deaths on the field. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't, but I kind of confirmed a theory of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the problem with the cops that they're having right now over there, it's
the militarization of the police, man. It's all these guys from the military.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I've been trying to say too. I'm not trying to rip on the police, and I know they got to go through some shit, and the blah blah blah. You know, all the
I'm with you.
Deal with some bad dudes.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same token, though, they're just not the same class of people behind the weapons. They're scared.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these shootings shouldn't have happened. I've seen some of the shooting tapes, and I'm like, dude, I would have never.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to be there. Not necessarily on the streets, but I know. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about that because I can't. But it's like, man, I don't know how to put it in words. I think I'd rather eat one than fucking pull it on somebody who had a water gun.
Yeah, that autistic boy. You seen that one too?
Yeah, that's the one I'm actually referring to. That one pissed me off till people are like, oh, well, put yourself in their shoes. I've been there, man. I've been there. I've had guns in my face. I've been fired upon. Okay, I've been there. Okay, don't tell me if I can. It takes. All I gotta say is I see these young fuckers out there panicked. They should have no fucking way they should have that weapon in their hand. They don't deserve
these guys, there's like an 80% rate of like the people going into police are coming straight from the military. Like they've altered their recruitment tactics, and they're just going to guys who are, you know, coming out of their 4 years or 6 years or whatever in the army, and they're going straight to them for police academy and whatnot, and getting it paid for by their, what's it called, the, what do they get when they get in there, the free college that they get, I forget the name of the grant they get, but anyways, so these guys are, it's the militarization of the police force is really what's happening. But when you have, when these guys are trained in Iraq, and essentially they're trained in Afghanistan and Iraq, where they don't give a fuck about discretion or what's the best word I want to use here? They don't need a calm approach. They don't need to not pull that trigger out there. Okay, so they get rattled. There's mortars falling on occasion. There's, you know, they're having to kill people, all of this shit. And then they come back and they come into the States and, you know, they become police officers. Well, when they're out in the streets and, you know, one of their partners gets jumped, beat up, they're going to take it out on, you know, they go into this mode of me versus them, of, you know, good guys, bad guys, of me versus an enemy. And I'm not defending the cops, but just like kind of where you said, like, you know what they're going through. You know, there's some bad people out there, but they're overreacting.
Exactly. I've.
And then what do? They
more.
get a 2-week paid vacation when they kill a Negro. It's fucking terrible, dude.
Yeah, they come straight back from Iraq or Afghan or where the fuck they're stationed, right? And you go straight into the academy because, well, you know, they've been through some shit and they're still carrying baggage. So they get through the academy, they polish up that nice shield of theirs, and they get out there. Stressful situations start happening, or it might not even be a stressful situation, and the baggage kicks in, and it's like, well, shit, man, come on now. I mean, you just blasted some dude on the street that's laying on his back trying to fucking. I see that shooting every time, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you thinking? You're not. You're reacting. You're reliving a moment you had 3 years ago in a fucking opposite side of the fucking world.
Yeah.
That's what I see. And there's more and more of that going on.
Yeah.
Those guys should not fucking have even graduated and gotten a fucking sidearm in the first place.
Yeah. It's crazy. There's been a lot of it. And I mean, the media is hyping it up. I mean, there's a lot of people.
That's true. I agree there.
There's a lot of police, you know, violence, and they don't always get press. You know, it's really specific stories that they're hyping and going after the whole Black Lives Matter angle and trying to stir up a bunch of bullshit before the election. You know, divide and conquer type action. So it's ridiculous. The whole situation, though. I mean, luckily, I'm not in like I wouldn't live in New York City or any big city for that matter. You know, I live in South Florida right now, like 100 miles below Tampa, and it's not very popular. Well, I mean, it's like a small little town, I suppose, but they could crack down martial law on any one of those cities in hours if some shit went down, just like in Ferguson.
Oh, so just like a lot of people forgotten about Rodney King. Not me, because I was there.
No shit.
Rodney King. Yeah,
You were there?
Well, I was in Torrance, but luckily in that city, Torrance, it's in LA County, but it's on the peninsula. So basically around the peninsula, that's where all the violence was. But when that shit started happening, it was a scary day, man. And to confirm your National Guard coming out there, they basically set up fort. See, and Torrance is actually a more upper middle class to higher end part of California in that county because we're right on the beach. So you had, you know, if you had better money, you're in that location near the beach. You're not inland in the shitty ass fucking zones. So usually you want to police and maintain control for the higher class citizens, right? And that's what happened. The National Guard came right out there, set up a fucking barricade. And I remember playing basketball with half of those dudes. They drove right up with their fucking APCs and tanks and shit, right on the fucking, right through the parks, parked up right next to the b-ball court, you know, and I was like, man, this is fucking weird. I'm thinking, man, if it hits here though, me and my boys were like fucking planning out which fucking parts of the mall we're gonna go raid. And I don't know.
How
we're
old
like,
were
man,
you?
I want a TV so bad. I
How old
remember
are you?
I want that new Sega Genesis. And
Oh yeah. I remember.
no, man,
There's
it was, man. Those National Guard guys were out in a fucking hurry. Hey.
remember when black people do that, it's called looting. When white people do it, it's called survival.
Yeah.
But no,
That was quick
you.
though. The National Guard guys whoosh right on out. Next thing you know, we're like,
Mhm.
oh, it's not going to happen here.
That's
But
the
then I'm
thing.
like
Is like,
thinking, well, actually, it could happen anywhere because we're like, well, because I remember some of these other mates next to us were like planning on, hey, what if we start it? We're going to Del Amo Mall and we're like fucking like, you know, try to rally people up and get the you know the wolf pack started. And I'm
nice.
like, fuck that, man.
So you probably what, 5 years older than me or so? What, you're
Probably.
about 40?
Yeah,
About that? Yeah, I'm
something like that.
35. I was a little young when that happened. I was like 11 or 12. But yeah, I probably would have done the same as you if I was out there at that age.
Oh, it was like Jesus on the left shoulder saying, you know, you might need to help out people, you know. And then I had the other side of me going, man, if it happens, I'm getting me a new Sega Genesis. I'm gonna get me the biggest fucking TV my arms are gonna carry. My mate's got a Ute next to us, you know, or a truck, pickup truck, sorry. Fucking A. Yeah, and we're all like planning shit, you know, and it was like, well, and then the National Guards come fucking pulling right up. Oh, well, there goes that idea. Okay.
Yeah,
We see
man, they can
tanks.
lock this place down fast. They can.
Yeah.
When living on the Navy base, I was always concerned about um, being attacked. I was, I cared about history. I knew where I was. I was, rather intelligent about it. And every general I would talk to, or officer or high-ranking person I would talk to, because I went on Tiger cruises and I lived on these bases, so I got to work with MWR and some other, just like military, and like MWR is like rental boat rentals and car.
Oh, did I just freeze up? Shit. What the hell's going on here? Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Lost our compadre. What am I, solo? I eat my fucking, what do I got here? Bacon and burger. Nice. Triple stack. Destroyer of chat. That's me. Who else is here? Nobody?